Hey guys, let me know when you are logged in. I'm gonna just refresh my Facebook page to see that I'm in here. Yeah. Awesome. So, hey everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Get Lucid TV. Happy Bicycle Day and happy 420 Eve. Lots of celebrations going on this week. So for those of you that have never tuned in before, this series is based around lucid living. If you're interested in my lucid dreaming stuff, you can check out my Instagram or my YouTube, Get Dreaming With series. But this series, in short, lucid living is all about being our best selves, reaching our full potential, waking up to some of our wildest dreams, making those a reality. I like talking about spirituality, consciousness, psychedelics, making friendships, connections, and I also always try and include useful resources and different techniques in these. So give me a hello when you're logged in, otherwise I can just see the little red eye. Let me know if you're in here live. Give me a hashtag live. Give me a hashtag new if you're new so I can make a connection with you. And please give me a hashtag GLTV fan if you've been following along for this whole series. And I'd also love to know where you're tuning in from. I've been connecting with loads of different people all over the world for the past couple of weeks. Everyone's getting online, doing different videos and stuff, so that's been a lot of fun. Hey Jackie, so glad you're here. So as always, go ahead, grab yourself either a pen, paper, notebook, open a Word document. I always recommend people take notes while they go through these videos because sometimes those are when the best ideas pop up, when we're just listening along to something, tuning in and thinking about this kind of content. So I hope everyone is doing well. How are you doing? Are you staying safe, healthy during this time? I know that for me, I've had a pretty challenging few weeks. I think everyone has, and it's okay to say that. I think that's something really important to share as well, especially on social media. Everyone wants to share their best face, right? Everyone wants to share that they're still doing really well, still being super productive during this time, and sometimes it's okay to just say that we're having a tough time, that things are a bit difficult or challenging. For me, I definitely really resonate with that, and I appreciate any time that anyone is just really being authentic. One of my most popular posts that I've ever shared, some of you who are following me might have seen it. It's a post titled "Who the Fuck Am I?" And I think that was so popular because I was just super authentic. I really shared the bad and the good of where I'd come from, and I don't try and paint some kind of picture of perfection, right, to get to where I am today. So I've had some challenging times the past couple of weeks. I'm not going to go super into it, but I will share that I've learned a lot of lessons over these past couple of weeks, and it's really, really reinforced my practice of gratitude and love and appreciation. When we're able to zoom out and really see a situation in its entirety, I do always feel grateful. And I'm hoping that what I'm going to share with you guys today will be relevant for you this week and this month. It might not be, but right now, but it may be in the future as well. So take what you will and leave what you don't need. What I do want to share is that April 12 was my business anniversary, my first business anniversary. So Get Lucid with Lana has been going for a full year now. I celebrated with many of you during my first ever webinar, Dreaming Practices for Anxiety Alleviation. that is now up on my YouTube channel. You can search Get Lucid with Lana. It should come up. It went really, really well. Really looking forward to doing some more of those. And if there are any particular topics that you guys would like to see, feel free to comment those. The other thing I wanted to share, that April 17th was my Americaversary. I've been here in the States for 2 years now. I'm originally from London and I spent 5 years in Tokyo, so this has been a new adventure for me. And I like sharing these things because I always really appreciate, anything that gives me a marker, a date to reflect back on from where I've come from. If you'd told me just 2 or 3 years ago that, I'd be living in America, I'd be married to the man of my dreams, I'd be running the business of my dreams, no pun intended, I would have asked you where you're buying your marijuana from. And I share this because, 2 years is not a long time, but so much can happen in that time if we really want it to. So today, what I want to cover with you guys, hi for everyone else tuning in, good to see you, Will, and Edward's there too. I want to cover some things that have made a real difference for me on this journey. So I'm going to break that down into 3 super simple steps. And I call these steps the 3 I's. And it's part of how I always end my month or my week feeling successful every single time. And I just want to reiterate, for those of you who may not have seen my post about this live, that it really doesn't matter who you are, where you are, how fucking insane March or April was for you, because the past, it doesn't equal what our future is, unless we decide that it is going to do that and we play that kind of game. But for me, I really believe that it's the decisions that we make today, right now, that will influence how we live tomorrow. It's really the things that we choose to believe in, the energy that we put out, that's what dictates what we can make manifest. So if you decide to go into May thinking it's just going to be as shitty as April was for me, then I guarantee that it will probably feel shitty for you. But if you've tuned into this, if you're tuned in now, I challenge you to decide today or right now actually that May is going to be fucking amazing, and call it what you want. I like to put a name to it: manifestation May, materialization May, whatever is really going to get you on board with that idea. So give it a go. You have nothing to lose by doing that. Really putting it out there, saying it to yourself. Even better, post it in the comments right now as a affirmation to yourself. I really like using the same letter of the month. So for example, December I did like dominating December. February I did fierce February. May, you can use whatever you want it to be full of. Money May, manifestation May, mindfulness May, meditation May, magic, Muay Thai, whatever it is, declare it now. And if you do decide to declare it in the comments, I will give you a shout out. Manifestation May, yes, Jackie. I'll give you a shout out on my page because I think that's really important. I think declarations keep you feeling proud, it keeps us accountable, and it makes the whole process just a bit more real. So again, today I'm going to be covering the 3 I's, which are going to help us really make a difference in May. And I want you to know before I share this that I do only share things that I do myself. I do practice what I preach. I wouldn't share this stuff if it doesn't work. I kind of see it as me doing the trial and error period so that you guys don't have to. So these are things that I have genuinely tested. They've genuinely got me results. They work. I wouldn't want to share bullshit and start fucking up everyone else's day. So please trust me on that if you do implement these things, it really will work for you. So again, grab yourself a notebook, pen, paper, open a Word doc, your notes app, whatever it is, to take this stuff down. So the 3 I's are investigation, implementation, integration. Write them down. I'm going to say it again and repeat it with me or write it down for yourself. Investigation, implementation, integration, right? Those are the 3 I's. So get this into your mind, get it into your mind's eye. This is what's going to help you this month, this week, next month, beyond, hopefully. It really is what helps me. These 3 steps help me every single month. And I'm going to go into detail on each of these 3 areas now. So stage 1 is all about investigation. And it's exactly what it sounds like, but the investigation is really up to you. It's whatever area that you want to investigate in your life. That might be something physical, it might be mental, it might be emotional, spiritual, it might be a creative thing, a musical thing, whatever area. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that a huge part of lucid living for me is all about balance. It's about finding the right balance in each of these areas of our lives that we want to work on. So the investigation stage is investigating what area of your life are you currently experiencing a blockage? What area of your life could be a bit better, right? What is it that you need to focus on for this month? Hey, Jennifer. It might be 2 areas. It might be 1 area. And you're going to know that. You're going to know if you're someone that needs to focus on just one thing at a time, if focusing on, something physical, mental, financial is a lot in one go. Just focus on 1 area to start with, right? And you can always add on from there. So for an example, the areas of investigation that I did for last month was 3 areas. I focused on spirituality, my professional business, and my physical, emotional. That's technically 4 areas, but I'm an overachiever, so I count it as 3. But it's really as simple as that, right? So the investigation stage of the 3 I's is really just thinking about what area am I feeling a blockage with? What do I need to focus on or improve on to get better this month? It's so simple. Investigate it, feel it, sit with it, journal on it, think about it in the shower. Ask your dreams, right? What are they showing you? What needs to be better? And it can be a great idea to relate the investigation back to the month that you're working on these things, right? So for example, as I was saying before, if you decided to do manifestation May or money May, right? The 2 M's, then maybe your investigation is going to be all about finances. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's about making money, right? It might be more about organization, planning some things out, creating passive income ideas, maybe starting up a spreadsheet to track your spending, your budgeting, all those kind of things. So decide what it is that you particularly need to investigate. And that's just the first step, as simple as it is. So just know what you need. Anyone following along, comment with some of your ideas now. I'd love to hear the other May things. I know I came up with a bunch for those who just tuned in. I suggested Money May, Muay Thai May, Manifestation May, Magic May, Meditation May, bunch of different ideas, right? But really for you, choose what it is that you want your area of focus to be. And that's the first I, which again is investigation. So moving on to the second I, which is implementation, right? Stage 2, implementation, is all about how do you start implementing these ideas. So again, just to make it simple, think of this as a 1-month project. If it's your first time doing this kind of thing, break it down to just a 1-week project. It doesn't have to be super intense. This isn't a potential blockage for something you're going to be working on for a year's time, right? Break it down to make it as simple as it needs to be for you. So the implementation stage is all about what are you going to do about stage 1, investigation. So if your goal in stage 1 investigation was developing a spiritual practice, how are you going to implement that? What are you going to do about it? Really great technique to get started is simply setting up weekly goals. You can set them up at the beginning of the month, so maybe this week before we enter May, or you can just go week by week. I honestly prefer going week by week because sometimes my ideas change or progress as I progress, right? Sometimes when we set up something, we're like, I'm going to do 3 meditations a week, and then it gets to the end of week 1 and you've only done 1, right? That might have been a bit of a too big a jump for setting up this implementation stage. So then okay, week 2, I'm just going to aim for 2 meditations, something like that. So I'll just speak for myself on what I did for my last month's projection. So I decided that one area I really wanted to investigate was developing a spiritual depth, my spiritual practice. So in particular, I wanted to add in working on gratitude. So for the first week, I decided I wanted to implement a daily gratitude practice into the meditation practice that I already had. I thought that wouldn't be too difficult to start as week 1 since I already do a daily meditation practice, and I just need to, remember I want to think about gratitude or feel some gratitude during that practice, right? So that was week 1 for the month. Week 2, I decided I wanted to take it a little bit deeper, so I came up with grateful affirmations that I wanted to repeat during the meditation practice. So week 2 was all about repeating those affirmations. Week 3, I realized that I'd had a lot of thoughts coming up from doing those affirmations in the practice, and I realized that I wanted to take those thoughts and work with them. So my week 3 goal was journaling on those things that came up during my meditation practice. And then week 4 was actually practicing gratitude in a difficult situation. And this is a true story. This really came up for me last week. I was just busy doing the cleaning, doing some vacuuming, and I started getting really frustrated with the current place that I'm living in. And I just had one of those moments where I just burst into tears. And then the 3 weeks of gratitude practice that I've been working on came up, and gratitude came in. And the crying about the difficult situation actually ended up transitioning into crying just for the gratitude of actually, instead of feeling frustrated with my home, feeling gratitude that I had a home, that I'm living with a husband who I love, that I can put food on the table, that I have a job, right? So that was the moment that I knew that integration process, which is step 3, had actually begun, right? So again, to go through, step 1 is the investigation, looking for those things that you need to focus on, that you might be having a blockage with, and deciding that that's what you're going to be focused on for the next month. And step 2 is the implementation. What are you going to do about those blockages? How are you going to start building a week by week practice to start implementing some changes into your life? And that should bring you, after 4 weeks of practice, into step 3, which is the integration process. So that's the third I, integration. So step 3 is all about that moment for me was when I realized that my reactions had actually changed, right? Gratitude was actually flooding in previous moments where I wished it would have. That doesn't mean the practice is over, okay? So obviously the general consensus is that people say it takes about 30 days to form a habit, about 90 days to form a lifestyle. I say it probably takes a lot longer than that because we get lazy and things come up in our lives, so we it's quite tough to consistently practice. But in short, doing something for 1 week or 4 weeks is really just the tip of the iceberg, right? So this part, the integration part, stage 3, is really tied into stage 1, the investigation part, because the integration part is all about leading to the why, right? Why do I want to improve financially? Why do I want to improve spiritually, physically? What is that going to do for me and my life? If you can really integrate the why that you're doing something, then you will make that thing happen. Integration is all about creating that super strong intention, super strong purpose in your life, how to really build these tasks, how to really fully, truly integrate them back into your life. So a really clear example, I'm going to use dream work because that's the easiest one for me. So if in stage 1, your investigation was my blockage or your blockage in your life is nightmares, right? Nightmares are giving you bad sleep. So maybe your stage 2 was implementing a lucid dream practice to handle your nightmares, okay? Then once you've handled some nightmares, stage 3, the integration stage, would be thinking about how are you going to use that to benefit your life in any way, right? What will having a lucid dream practice do for you in your life? What will having good sleep, how is that going to improve your everyday life? What's the why behind why you need to combat these nightmares? What is a decent night's sleep going to do for you? Having those 3 things and getting really clear on all of those 3 I's is gonna really help you stick to them, see them as an entire package, right? So I really recommend getting clear on all those 3 points. Whatever you need to do, write it down, journal it, comment with it, use post-it notes, a vision board. I use all my 3. I have a really simple layout. I just have my 3 tasks for the month, and then 3 other post-it notes of each task for those things each week. So example, you might have one post-it note that's your investigation, nightmares. The second post is the implementation, lucid dream work. And the third post-it note being what it's going to do for you. Maybe it's going to get you a decent night's sleep. Maybe it's going to help you learn more about yourself. Whatever it is for you, get those things down and get them really clear. I do this every single week, every single month. I have weekly goals, monthly goals. I also do it quarterly. If you've never done anything like this before, I recommend just starting with a weekly one. See how it goes. I keep it right up next to me. I see it every morning, and that keeps me on track. It keeps me achieving month after month after month. By using these methods, I can look at my vision board even from last quarter or last year, 2 years ago, on anniversaries, and it really helps me to just take in how much I've done. It makes me feel proud of myself, and this helps me generate even more passion, even more desire. It helps me do even better this month. It makes me want to keep doing more. So even in these difficult situations, like with the coronavirus situation or other things going on, you know, maybe you're having a difficult time with work, but are there other things that you can focus on and make you feel like, okay, this is difficult, but at least I'm achieving in all these areas. At least I'm still improving, right? So your next objective is to choose one of those blockages now, declare it now, do the investigation, do the stage 1 today, and then build your stage 2 and stage 3. Investigate, implement, integrate, right? These are the things that you need to make May your best month of 2020 yet. I guarantee it. You start doing these things, you will start feeling the momentum immediately. I really love this model, and I'm sharing it with you guys because it's very visual, it's very, very practical, and it's also a long-term model, but it's got a kind of short-term model within it, right? Because I know for me, when I make really far out goals, like, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds by October or something, that's great, but those things are so much easier said than done, right? The people that typically set those kind of goals, they might do a little diet, you might start doing some exercise for a week, maybe 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. But after a while, if you're one of those people that notices you just start falling back into your regular practice, regular habits, maybe you eat some ice cream and then you buy a whole tub of ice cream, right? But with the 3 I's, with this practice, you're constantly adapting to your goal week by week. It's super strategic. And that way you're going through the month tweaking it every time. So you don't drop these goals, you don't drop these habits, you're building on them and building on them. It's challenging for yourself. You can see what you did last week. You're comparing yourself week by week rather than setting these really long-term things that is so difficult to keep up with. Make it manageable for yourself. Make it step by step. Modify as you go and really keep those whys up there. Why are you doing it? So that you never lose that motivation. When I want to talk about when this doesn't work for people, right? So what people do is they miss one of the I's. Some people, they know how to implement something, but they actually don't know how to integrate it, right? So they don't have that why. They don't have the reason behind why they're doing it. So it's not as strong enough. Or maybe you can do the investigation part, but then you get lost in the implementation part, right? You don't know how to actually action those steps and go forward. So I would say that the 3 I's, it has to be a package coming together, all 3 of them, to hit that real gold mark. For the longest time, I was kind of doing all 3, a bit of investigation here, a bit of implementation here. I was going in and out, and it was working all right for me, you know, but to really up level, to really hit those high results, it became clear that I had to be consistent with all 3. I had to fully investigate what was blocking me, fully implement techniques to work on those areas that I needed focus with, and fully integrate it back into my everyday life, come full circle, the entire lucid living part of it, right, to really see those results. So work out your 3 I's, what they mean for you. In my experience, I think that a lot of people know what is blocking them potentially, or a lot of people have kind of a rough goal in mind, but it's that implementation stage, the strategic stage, the work that you actually have to do to get from A to Z, where a lot of people struggle most. So if you're one of those people, my best advice for you is to get help. Actually ask for help. It doesn't have to be from me. Yes, I do lucid dreaming and lucid living coaching, but it doesn't necessarily have to come from me. As always, if you resonate with me and what I do, if you want to work together, great, let's fucking do it. Let's start today. But if not, that's okay. Go and get the help that you need from a friend, from the internet. There's people everywhere offering advice. Facebook groups are amazing. Search the thing that you're working on. I'm sure there's a Facebook group for it. There's one for everything now. And just know that there really is no shame in asking for help. Anyone who's done coaching, anyone who's done any work on themselves will almost 100% have asked for help. I know that for me, my goals have been halved. The timeline of achieving what I want to achieve has been halved or more from working with coaches, from working with other people working on these things, from speaking to people who have already done the hard stuff, right? They already have a template and they can simply guide you through what they did with these tried and tested techniques. So that's what I wanted to share today with you guys. The 3 I's, to recap, they are investigation, implementation, and integration. So investigation is all about what's blocking you. The implementation stage is all about what are you going to do about it. And the integration stage is about how is doing this stuff actually going to make a difference in your life. If you do these 3 things, if you start on them now, I guarantee that you will see yourself dominating May. And I hope you'll be like me and you'll let it go much further beyond that as well. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening. If you think this was helpful for you, please tag a friend, share the video. I also wanted to say that I'm going to be actually launching a webinar on dream work practices for money manifestation in May. It's going to come out on May 8th. So if you would like information on that, please drop me some green hearts in the comments on this video and I'll send you the link. I'm going to do concession tickets as well, as I know people are in a bit of financial difficulty during this. But I'm wishing you guys a month full of love, abundance, lucidity. See you all soon.